Welcome to Pope's Plates. Today we are making a very favorite recipe called sausage tortellini soup. This is one of a series that we're going to do on soups. Coming the winter months, I think you're going to enjoy those. And I've got a story to tell you once I get started on the sausage. I have a pot on the stove. This is a big soup pot. And I'm going to turn the heat on medium high. Mine goes from 2 to 6. I'm going to put this about on 5 so that the bottom of the pot is hot when the sausage hits it. I need to take the casings off of the sausage. This is a mild Italian sausage, and I just sort of cut along the side of the sausage and then pull the sausage out of the casing. We definitely don't want casing in our soup. It's a little messy to do this, but it's important that you get all of the sausage out. And see, you have a little bitty piece of casing left over. Now that we've got the casings removed from all of the sausage links, I'm going to put them in the pan, break them up, and stay with them for a little bit while they are browning before I come back to finish the rest of the ingredients for this soup. Okay, I've got the sausage ready. We're going to put it in the pan. Ooh, can you hear that sizzling? That's what you want. The pan's hot enough so that the sausage is going to start cooking right away. Now I need to begin breaking this up. This soup was not part of our family recipes. This actually came from another friend. One of my traveling group, I've mentioned them before. We've traveled together every year for 20 years. And this is her comfort food, and it has now become our comfort food. It makes a lot, makes about 5 quarts of soup. So if you've got friends that you want to share with, I would suggest that you make the full recipe and share the soup. I'm going to leave this and let this cook a bit while I am chopping the onion and the carrots to go in the soup. Next step is getting our onions and carrots cooked so that we can get those in the pot, and they'll cook a little bit before we actually finish up putting the liquid ingredients in. We've got a large onion. I'm just going to throw the pieces over here on the board here. Got to get the extra skin off the outside of these onions. You'll notice that I've got an injury, so I'm having to move a little more slowly than I normally would. But that's okay. Alrighty. And again, be very careful. My knife skills are not professional by any means. We don't want anybody to get hurt, so be very careful when you're cutting the onions. These do not have to be cut up really small. You don't want huge chunks, but a good dice is fine. All right, I finished chopping the onions, and I'm going to turn around and stir this sausage to make sure it doesn't burn. That's looking good. We're going to now cut the carrots. And you'll notice that I have stick carrots rather than whole carrots. These happen to be on sale, so this is what I got. It doesn't really matter how many you use. I just am going to cut these in little cubes, and they'll cook pretty quickly in the soup. And I may add a few more sticks because I like the sweetness of the carrots in the soup. But normally you would put 4 to 5 good-sized carrots cut in discs. I think I will add just a few more. Now that we have got the onions and the carrots ready, I'm going to add them to the pot. Now the sausage is still cooking. That's okay. We want the carrots and the onions to have a chance to cook in this hot sausage grease before we add the liquid to the pot. So I'm going to stir a little bit here, finishing up getting the sausage broken up. You'll notice that I did not take any of the fat out of the pan. this sausage was not excessively fatty, but in the event that that does concern you, once you have cooked the soup, the fat will solidify on the top, and once it's refrigerated, and you can skim it off if you like. I'm continuing to break this up. There are a couple of chunks of sausage in here that are a little bit bigger than I would like, but it essentially is cooked through. So I'm going to let this cook for a few minutes before I add the other liquid and the spice to the pot. It's time to add the liquid ingredients to the soup now. We've got 4 cups of beef broth from 1 container. The recipe calls for 6. I've got a little bit more in another container that I had in the freezer, so I'm going to add a little bit of that as well. That ought to be about right. Then we've got 2 cups of diced tomatoes. These are canned, but you can certainly use fresh tomatoes if you would like to. And we have 1 can of tomato sauce. To that, we're going to add 2, that's a little over a tablespoon of basil and a little over a teaspoon of oregano. We're going to stir this. We're going to turn the heat down to simmer and let this cook for about 45 minutes or so. When it is almost complete, we're going to add the tortellini and the spinach, and that will finish our soup. The soup has been cooking now for about 45 minutes. The onions and the carrots are tender. We're going to now add the spinach and the tortellini. All right, I'm letting the spinach wilt. I didn't use a lot. I'm not a great big fan of spinach in this. You can use an entire package of spinach if you like it, and that thickens it a little bit, makes it a little heartier. And I've got the tortellini here. These are 3 cheese tortellini, but you can certainly use any other kind. We're going to add those to the pot, and hopefully we're not going to get hot liquid on us. You let these cook until they've risen to the top of the pot. That indicates that they're done, and then your soup is finished. All right, this has been a really good day to make soup. It's kind of cloudy and drizzly outside where we are. If you enjoy this soup, please let us know in the comments. And if you have a favorite recipe of your own, please let us know what that is. We'd love to make it. Until we see you again, let's keep cooking.
Thanks for visiting Pope's Plates. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up. Click the notification bell so that you'll know when we have new videos available. And make sure you subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Until I see you again, let's get cooking.